The Campground Detective, Episode 6. There's a special kind of peace that comes with waking up in a quiet campground. I had parked Miss Daisy at a small BLM site in Utah the night before, the kind of place where the only sounds were the wind rustling through the sagebrush and the occasional call of a raven. Sadie and I started the morning as usual, me with a hot cup of instant coffee, her sniffing around for whatever mysteries the desert held. It was shaping up to be a nice, uneventful day, or so I thought. Around mid-morning, a beat-up SUV pulled into the site across from mine. Out stepped a young man and woman looking like they hadn't slept much, or showered, for that matter. Their movements were hurried and jittery, as though they were hiding something. I'm not one to judge people based on appearances, but there was something about them that set my instincts on edge. The woman glanced in my direction and quickly looked away, while the man busied himself unloading gear. They didn't wave or say hello, which isn't unusual, but it did feel off. "All right, Sadie," I said, giving her a scratch behind the ears. "Looks like we've got some new neighbors. Let's stay alert." The hours passed, and I couldn't help but notice their odd behavior. The man kept pacing around their SUV, checking inside as if something might disappear. The woman sat on a camp chair but kept her head down, avoiding eye contact. As the day went on, I debated whether to mind my own business or trust my gut. But when I saw the woman trying to start a fire with a damp bundle of sticks and no kindling, I decided it was time to introduce myself. "Hi there," I called out as I walked over, Sadie trotting at my side. "I'm Marge. Need a hand with that fire?" The woman looked up, startled, but then gave me a small, grateful smile. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm Claire, and that's Adam." We chatted while I helped her get the fire going. Turns out, Claire and Adam were brand new to the road. They'd recently quit their jobs and sold everything to try living out of their SUV. The jitters I'd noticed earlier weren't anything sinister. They were pure, unfiltered nerves. "We don't really know what we're doing," Claire admitted with a laugh. "We've been sleeping in Walmart parking lots and eating cold canned soup. This is the first time we've tried camping somewhere like this." "Well, you're off to a decent start," I said, patting the SUV's hood. "You got here, didn't you? Now let's see if we can make it a little easier for you." Over the next couple of hours, I gave them a crash course in boondocking. I showed them how to build a proper fire, how to use freecampsites.net and Campendium to scout potential campsites, and even shared some tips for keeping their gear organized in such a small space. Adam, who had seemed so tense earlier, relaxed as we worked on setting up a better camp. By the end of the day, Claire was laughing as she roasted marshmallows, and Adam was jotting down notes about solar power. The next morning, they came by Miss Daisy with a little gift, a tin of coffee they'd picked up on their way into town. "Thank you," Claire said. "We were pretty overwhelmed before you showed up. I think we might actually stick with this now." "You're welcome," I said, smiling. "The road can be tough at first, but it gets easier, and if you ever need advice, just holler. We nomads have to look out for each other." As they packed up and drove away, I felt a little swell of pride. I'd started the day thinking I needed to keep an eye on them, but it turned out they were the ones who needed a little guidance. Sadie hopped into the passenger seat, and I gave her a scratch behind the ears. "You're a good detective, girl," I said. "Guess we solved this one." The road is full of surprises, some good, some challenging. But every now and then, you get the chance to turn someone else's tough day into a turning point. And that's a mystery worth solving,